After Noah reveals the painful truth about why he left, the mood between them shifts. The initial shock and cautious conversation now give way to something more vulnerable and raw. They are no longer strangers or distant memories to each other. They are two people carrying a shared history full of love, loss, and longing. The coffee shop around them has grown quiet. Most of the other customers have left, and the music is just a soft background hum. It's as if the world has shrunk around them, focusing all attention on their fragile reunion. Noah reaches into his coat pocket and pulls out something carefully folded, an old letter he wrote to Emma years ago but never sent. This letter is a powerful symbol in the story. It represents his true feelings that he kept locked inside, feelings that never faded even during all the years they were apart. The letter is faded and creased, showing how long he's held on to it. It's a physical reminder of the emotional time they lost and the love he tried to keep alive in silence. As Emma unfolds the letter and reads it, the emotions flood back. The letter speaks of his regret, his longing, and the deep love he still holds for her. It mentions how every song reminds him of her laugh, how every day without her was empty. This letter, although unsent, is Noah's way of reaching out and telling Emma the truth that words spoken in person sometimes fail to express. Emma's eyes fill with tears. The pain she's carried for so long is suddenly tangled with hope and tenderness. Here is proof that Noah never stopped caring, even if he couldn't find the courage to stay. Noah whispers, "I didn't move on." Not really. This line is incredibly powerful because it shows that, despite the years apart, his feelings never changed. The phrase "not really" adds a sense of uncertainty and vulnerability. He is admitting his love, but also acknowledging the complex, messy nature of their separation. Emma's response is equally honest. "I wish I hated you. It would have been easier." This captures the deep conflict she feels, how easier it would be to let go completely if only she could hate him for leaving. But she can't. This admission makes the story deeply relatable. Many people have experienced love that lingers even through pain. The desire to hate or forget is often there, but the heart refuses to cooperate. Their shared moment here is a turning point. They are no longer avoiding the feelings or pretending. They don't matter. Both admit to the depth of their emotions, even though it hurts. The soft music, the fading light outside, and the quiet cafe all create an intimate atmosphere where these truths can be spoken. The story's tone remains gentle and mature, showing that healing and forgiveness don't come with grand gestures, but with quiet, honest moments. This part is also important because it shows that love isn't simple or clean. It's messy, complicated, and often painful. Yet, it's also what keeps people connected across time and distance. Emma and Noah's interaction invites readers to reflect on their own experiences of love and loss. It asks, can we forgive someone who hurt us? Can love survive time and silence? These are universal questions that make the story emotionally rich. By the end of part 3, there is a sense of fragile hope. The letter is a bridge between past and present. It offers a chance to rebuild what was broken, but the future is still uncertain. The story doesn't rush toward a happy ending here. Instead, it honors the complexity of emotions involved when two people who once loved deeply meet again after years of separation. This chapter leaves readers with a soft hook, wondering what will happen next. Will Emma and Noah find a way back to each other? Can they heal the wounds that time and absence have caused? Or will the pain prove too great to overcome? This moment is both beautiful and heartbreaking, capturing the essence of mature romance, where love is not just about passion, but also about understanding, forgiveness, and the willingness to be vulnerable again. In the final part of the story, Emma's decision to stay in town leads to a moment of true connection and healing between her and Noah, a moment neither of them expected but both needed deeply. The story has built up tension and emotion through the earlier parts, the surprise meeting, the painful truths, and the rediscovery of feelings that never fully died. Now, the characters are ready to take a step forward, not toward a sudden, fairy tale happy ending, but toward something more real and lasting. Noah invites Emma to come with him to visit his father at a care center. This invitation is significant. It shows Noah's trust and openness. He is letting Emma see a part of his life he's kept private and painful, the reason behind his sudden departure years ago. Emma agrees, even though she might be nervous. This willingness to walk with Noah into his past, to face his father, who is no longer the man they once knew, shows her compassion and courage. At the care center, Mr. Callahan, Noah's father, can't speak or move much after his stroke. Yet, when he sees Emma, a small smile appears on his lips. This smile is a touching moment that symbolizes recognition and acceptance. Emma remembers the times she and Noah spent with his parents, the dinners and quiet evenings, the love and hope they once shared. This scene is emotionally rich because it connects the past with the present. It reminds both Emma and Noah and the reader of the reality behind Noah's story, the real struggles and sacrifices he has faced. It humanizes Noah even more and deepens Emma's understanding after the visit. They sit together in Noah's old truck, the afternoon sunlight soft and warm around them. This quiet moment, filled with the golden light of late afternoon, is symbolic of new beginnings and gentle healing. Noah expresses his doubt about whether Emma could ever forgive him for leaving. His voice is full of vulnerability, showing how deeply he regrets the pain he caused her. Emma answers honestly. She says she's not sure if she has forgiven him yet. This honesty adds depth to their interaction. It's mature, real, and not sugar-coated. Forgiveness is not instant. It takes time, reflection, and willingness. But she also admits she doesn't want their story to end here. This means she is open to seeing where their renewed connection might lead, even if the path is uncertain. This moment captures the complexity of adult relationships, especially those marked by past wounds. It's not about quick resolutions or grand declarations, but about small steps, cautious hope, and the willingness to try again. Noah reaches out to hold Emma's hand, slowly and gently, as if asking for permission. This gesture is tender and respectful. It symbolizes trust, connection, and the desire for closeness without pressure. Emma allows the touch, signaling that she is open to healing and maybe love again. The story closes on this hopeful, quiet note, not with a dramatic reunion, but with two people beginning to rebuild what was lost. This ending feels realistic and emotionally satisfying because it honors the messy, imperfect nature of love and forgiveness. It shows that sometimes love returns not as a whirlwind, but as a slow, steady rekindling. The themes in this final part are deeply mature: acceptance of imperfection, the courage to forgive, and the power of compassion. Emma's choice to stay, to help Noah, and to be present with him in his most vulnerable moments shows her strength and heart. But the story also suggests that Noah, in turn, helps Emma through their shared experience. She confronts her own pain and opens herself to the possibility of happiness again. This mutual healing reflects the best kind of love, the kind that saves, supports, and restores. The story ends with a gentle invitation to the reader: the question of forgiveness, second chances, and whether we can trust love again after it has been broken. It leaves the door open for whatever comes next, but it promises that both Emma and Noah are ready to face it together. The story begins with Emma, a young woman in her late 20s, driving back to her hometown in Vermont after several years away. She had left for college and then stayed in Boston, chasing her career and building a life far from the small town she once called home. Now, after nearly 4 years, she's returning for what should be a short visit, just a weekend, to help her sister pack up their parents' old house, which has been emptied since their parents passed away. Emma's feelings are mixed as she drives through the familiar countryside. The roads, the trees, the old houses, everything reminds her of the past. Sometimes the memories bring comfort. Sometimes they bring pain. The journey back is emotional. like reopening an old book filled with both happy and sad stories. The weather matches her mood. It's raining softly, the sky heavy with clouds. Rain often symbolizes cleansing or change, and Emma's trip is both a chance to start fresh, but also a moment to face what she left behind. When Emma stops at a small coffee shop on the corner of Maple and Fifth Street, she does so more out of habit than need. This cafe, a tiny, cozy place with wooden floors that creak underfoot and walls decorated with faded photographs, hasn't changed since she was last here. The same chalkboard menus hang above the counter, and the same soft jazz music plays quietly in the background. It's like a little time capsule. Frozen in memory. Emma is not expecting anything to surprise her in this quiet place until she sees him. Noah, he was her first love. The boy she loved deeply when she was just 20 years old. They had a relationship filled with hope and tenderness, but it ended suddenly and painfully. Noah left town without explanation, breaking her heart. She never understood why he left or why he didn't say goodbye. Now, here he is, sitting alone at a table by the window, staring down at his hands wrapped around a coffee cup. His presence fills the room in a way that makes Emma's breath catch. Noah looks older now, more mature, with lines on his face that weren't there before. His eyes, once bright and full of life, seem tired and heavy. Emma's first instinct is to turn and walk away, to keep the past buried and avoid the pain of confronting the man who hurt her. But something about his quiet loneliness draws her. She feels a sudden, deep urge to reach out. For a moment, time seems to freeze. The rain outside taps gently on the windows, and the soft music fades into the background. Emma's heart pounds in her chest as she decides to stay. This moment is unexpected. No one ever plans to meet the person who broke their heart on a rainy night in a small-town cafe. Yet, here they are, two strangers and two people once so close, sitting in the same room again. Emma wonders what Noah has been through during these years apart. What kind of pain or struggle lies behind those tired eyes? She wants to understand, but she also wants to protect herself from getting hurt again. The story leaves readers hanging here, with a question that pulls at the heart. Why does Noah look so weighed down? What is the story behind his sudden disappearance all those years ago? And why, after all this time, does Emma still care about a man who left without a word? This opening chapter is powerful because it captures a moment full of emotion, nostalgia, longing, heartbreak, and the fragile hope that maybe, just maybe, something can be healed. The tension between what Emma feels and what she fears creates a natural cliffhanger that makes readers want to keep going. It's a story about second chances and the complicated ways love and pain can be intertwined. Emma's hesitation, her memories, and the unexpected sight of Noah all combine to make this moment unforgettable. In part 2, story deepens emotionally as Emma and Noah begin to reconnect, slowly unraveling the years of silence and misunderstanding. Between them, the moment Emma sees Noah alone in the coffee shop is heavy with unspoken history. She's frozen for a moment, caught between old pain and the desire to know what happened. Noah notices her too, and when their eyes meet, a flood of emotions rushes through them both. Surprise, nervousness, and a fragile hope. Noah stands up hesitantly, unsure whether to approach or stay distant. This hesitation reveals how fragile their connection still is. For years apart, have built walls of hurt and doubt. Yet, the fact that he speaks her name softly, almost as if it's painful to say, shows he has been thinking of her often. They sit down together, and at first their conversation is cautious, filled with small talk about everyday things. The town, the weather, Emma's life in Boston. This safe space of ordinary topics gives them a chance to warm up to each other again without immediately diving into the heavy past. But the tension between them is palpable. Both Emma and Noah carry emotional scars. Noah's silence for years has left Emma with feelings of abandonment, confusion, and heartbreak. She has often wondered why he disappeared without explanation. why he left her alone with unanswered questions. Finally, Noah breaks the silence about the real reason he left. His voice is quiet and full of regret as he explains that his father had a stroke which left him unable to speak or walk. Noah had to leave abruptly to care for his family. His mother was overwhelmed, and Noah felt the weight of responsibility fall heavily on his shoulders. He confesses he didn't tell Emma because he was ashamed that he couldn't be the man she thought he was, ashamed that life pulled him away so suddenly and cruelly. Noah's honesty is raw and painful. He admits he thought staying in touch would only cause more pain for both of them. This shows his deep internal struggle. He cared about Emma, but he was trapped by circumstances and his own fears. Emma listens quietly, her heart swelling with a mix of emotions. The hurt she carried for so long doesn't disappear immediately, but now it's tangled with understanding. She realizes his disappearance wasn't about rejection or cruelty, was about fear and responsibility. The story at this point is very emotional because it touches on a common human experience, the way life's unexpected hardships can interrupt love, and how silence can sometimes be a shield rather than a weapon. Emma asks the question many readers will feel themselves wanting to ask: why didn't you tell me? This is the moment where the raw pain comes out, the heartbreak that years of waiting and wondering created. Noah's answer is honest and vulnerable. He didn't want to cause her more hurt. This reveals his deep, though flawed, love for Emma. The scene shows two people who were once deeply connected but have grown, part because of circumstances beyond their control. Yet beneath the hurt and regret, their feelings remain. Emma looks at Noah and sees not just the man who left, but the person who carried his own burdens silently. She sees a boy who once promised forever but was forced to leave that promise unfulfilled. This part of the story pulls the reader deeper into the emotional world of the characters. It highlights themes of guilt, regret, and the difficulty of communication when life gets hard. Noah's story also introduces a mature and realistic take on love. Not everything is simple or perfect. Sometimes love means making painful choices and living with the consequences. The conversation between Emma and Noah opens a door to healing, but the future is still uncertain. Can Emma forgive him? Can Noah prove that his love is real after all this time? This chapter ends with a soft hook. Readers are left wondering whether time has healed the wounds or made them worse. Will they find a way back to each other? Or are they too far gone? The gentle but dramatic tone invites empathy. Everyone understands what it feels like to be hurt by someone you love and to struggle with forgiveness. The tension between Emma's lingering hurt and her budding understanding creates a powerful emotional pull. It's the kind of moment where the past and present collide, and both characters must decide if they want to risk opening their hearts again by revealing Noah's secret. The story becomes more than just a romance. It becomes a story about human frailty, responsibility, and the courage it takes to be honest after years of silence. Ultimately, Part 2 builds on the first chapter by deepening the emotional stakes and setting up the possibility for something real between Emma and Noah, but only if they're willing to face their pain together.